We're doing this. I'm so happy to have one of our fantastic friends join us, and hopefully my personal friend, if we can call each other friends, Isabel LaRosa, join us on B-Sides.
Of course.
Hi.
Always. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
I'm so glad that we're doing this again.
I thank you so much.
Yeah, of
for
course.
Your time. I mean, I know I can easily DM you and whatnot, and
No, totally. I feel like I was telling Thomas that it feels like the Billie Eilish interviews, like the year after year. That's what this feels like.
It just so happens that you're here year after year. Or
Totally, I know.
Every 6 months or whatever.
Seriously, it's very fun. But no, thank you for having me.
You look amazing.
Thank you.
Like
Thank you so much.
The coat, the boots, the makeup.
Thank you.
It looks like you're going to go down to the symphony just down the street from here.
Thank you. I'm like, I always try to keep switching it up. I don't know. It's like, I feel like it's not too unfamiliar from like the leather jacket stuff, but I just always try to keep pushing it, you know?
You're pushing it all right. Look at that leg. Do I see a bruise there too?
I know. I get bruises from when if I go on the stage on my knees. By the time like a couple shows in, I usually have like welts on my legs.
That's a sign of like low blood pressure or something like that.
I know it is. I do have low blood pressure.
You have medical issues.
No, we'll talk about it all day.
I'm sure touring has exasperated.
Definitely. It's like, it maybe not exasperated, but it just makes me realize things that I didn't realize before. I'm like, oh, like I need to eat at this time, otherwise I'll pass out or something, you know what I mean?
What's been the most surprising thing about touring and maintaining health? Because people had this notion of rock and roll, gonna go wild every night.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's just hard generally on like your body. Like by the end of tour, I'm actually like, what's interesting to me was recently I did my first headline in Europe, which was amazing. But there was the first show that happened. I've only been an opener before, so as amazing as that is, it's very different from a headline show. So like the Paris show was amazing, but it was so like overwhelming, and so I think that it was like so much dopamine and so much adrenaline that the next day I was just so sad the whole day. But it was like my friend Sam was like, it's almost like doing like a little bit of Molly. You know what I mean? Like how you go up and then you crash afterwards.
No, I don't, Isabel. I don't know what it's like to take Molly.
I don't know either.
You tell me.
I don't know either. Disclaimer. No, but I would say that it's just crazy how like I was like asleep half the day because I was just sad. I don't know. It was really wild, but like I've never experienced that before, so that was
I think
crazy.
A lot of artists felt that way, especially during the peak of the Quar.
Yeah, totally.
And having toured for all that time, and then all of a sudden everything shut down. It was.
And then it's just like,
yeah.
What do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
a lot of introspective and all those things took place.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But it's interesting though. I'm grateful that it's good to have those experiences now, because now I kind of know how to like manage it the second day almost, and I'm like, this is just, it'll go away, you know?
Yeah.
But
it's been a wild ride to watch from the sidelines on socials and all that other stuff.
Thank you.
And now you're doing your own headlining thing here in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is the biggest takeaway from being an opener that you will apply as the main draw?
I think that I was also talking to Thomas about this, but I think it's really important to know how to perform for a crowd that doesn't like you. Do you know what I mean? It's actually important because it teaches you like skills about how to get people like amped up and like how to perform and just work on your own stage presence, even if nobody gives a likes it at all. And so then when you play shows that people actually do care about you, then you're able to like just put on a better show instead of like, the only thing you ever know is people just being there for you and you don't really have to do anything, if that makes sense.
Right.
Not that, that would be amazing to have too, but I think it's just important to like, I think it's good to have some bad shows, you know, as much as it sucks, it's like it teaches you a lot of things.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of different stories about how being an opener to 4 people.
Oh, seriously.
Or to a sold out crowd.
And they just don't care.
And they don't even know.
They're just like,
care.
I don't know who you are.
They're on their phone, they're talking.
Totally.
They have their back, they're in the front row and have their back to you.
No, seriously. No, seriously. I've been very lucky with even with my opening, you know, tours. I've toured with Nessa and B. Miller and Tom Odell, and they're all amazing artists and they have great fans. So I've never had like a really bad experience with it, but it's just generally I think important to learn.
I've heard a lot of different stories about how being an opener to 4 people
Oh, seriously.
or to a sold out crowd,
And they just don't care.
and they don't even know.
They're just
don't
like, I
care.
don't know who you
They're on
are.
their phone, they're talking.
Totally.
They have their back, they're in the front row and have their back to you.
No, seriously. No, seriously. I've been very lucky with even with my opening, tours. I mean, I've toured with Nessa and B. Miller and Tom Odell, and they're all amazing artists, and they have great fans. So I've performed a lot as a kid, but the first like Nessa show that I ever did was like the first like real show that I ever did. I don't think I've ever been more nervous in my life before. But it was it's very performing at like open mic nights when you're a kid is very different from performing in front of like 1,000 people who are
Yeah.
So I've been lucky enough to not have to perform in front of like 5 people like now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I did it when I was like 7.
Right, yeah. The whole thing of paying your dues.
Yeah, no,
Right.
exactly. I'm like, I already did that. I'm good now. Like,
and just it's so amazing again to see the growth has been so exponential.
thank you.
What keeps you grounded?
Just the fact that like I know that it can all go away so fast, and the thing it's like the second that you get comfortable, like you never want to get comfortable because that's when you always have to make people care, like like you, especially I think at my point in my career, like I'm not anywhere close to where I want to be yet, and people aren't going to just like care if you don't give them anything. Like you always have to be like providing things, but I just know that it can go away really fast, and I just try to keep my head down and just keep going.
Yeah. When you first started, very much inspired by movies and
Yes.
soundtracks and all those things.
Definitely still.
And then I see on your socials how you're sprucing things up, adding a little salsa,
Uh-huh.
a little bit of Latina background.
Totally.
What's inspiring you? Where are you getting that from?
Honestly, I mean, I know that I've wanted to do something a little bit more Latin inspired, and Thomas the song Unforgettable by what is it? Sway Lee in French Montana. We were just listening to that and we were like, we should do some shit like that. And then I was like, this is perfect because I actually am Cuban. I listen to so much Latin music, and I just thought, I think it's always fun to just like not do the same thing all the time. I think it's interesting to always try to push what sound and what kind of things that we do.
It's one thing to appreciate it, it's another to actually create it.
Definitely.
Because I'm sure you like Nirvana, but you're not
I
going
do like
to be
Nirvana, yeah.
picking up a guitar and smashing
No.
and screaming, right?
No, I know. Not yet, maybe.
Oh.
Maybe. I've picked up a guitar once or twice in my life, but never smashed one.
Well, learn how to play proficiently before smashing.
Definitely. I used to be a better guitar player than I am now, but I have to pick it up again.
What were the songs that you would play? What were the cover songs you would do? Like
The
Blink-182,
worst
Green
shit.
Day.
Not even, okay, this is not even bad. I love Magic Dragons, but we used to cover like Radioactive by
no way,
like
you?
acoustic guitar. Yeah.
You?
Yes. It was I forgot about that. And then what would we do? We did like Heart in a Cage by The Strokes when I was like 10. I just loved that song. I was like, I want to do this song so bad. I don't know, things like that. But it's very fun.
Okay, I need to hear this.
I know. Oh no, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No. I don't. I hopefully there's no video recording of it.
See, now fandom is going to look.
I know. I was probably wearing like a red beanie and a 21 Pilots shirt and like skeleton gloves at the time. So not like that different.
We're gonna do AI and have that thing do the work.
It's okay. You know what? There are more embarrassing things on the internet of me probably. So.
Oh boy, with or without the hoop earrings?
In the past, I've actually worn hoops for a really long time, so I probably was wearing little ones.
Okay.
But I've worn hoops throughout my entire life, just not hoops like these.
Speaking of music, you are releasing something. I heard.
No, I am releasing something. It just hopefully by the time that this interview is out, I've announced the release date. So I know because I'm trying to announce it in the next couple days. But yes, I do have a song coming out. I'm very excited.
What do we do? Have you leaked the title?
Yes, the chorus is on TikTok. It's called Favorite. But I'm very excited about it, and it's exciting because we did some different things on the verses this time. So that's all I'll say. But
okay.
Yeah. People who come to the live shows will know, but anybody who doesn't come to live shows won't know. So I don't know.
And is this of the same ilk of the music that you've already released, or are we getting a little spice in there?
I think we're getting a little spice in there. I think we're getting some Latin influence. But it's not. My vocals have a common theme to them. But it's not like, you know, drastically different, but it definitely has a slightly different feel to it, I'd say.
Thanks so much for hanging.
Thank you for having me.
Always good to see you.
Always good. We'll do it again in like a year or 6 months or something.
Or whatever, whenever you.
And then I'll be wearing like even bigger hoops or something. Go down to here.
It's on camera.
Yeah. We'll document the size of them each time. Yeah.
Isabel, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Isabel LaRosa, right here on B-Sides.